So I was recently watching the Divergent movie series. I love Divergent, and if you aren't familiar, it's a series of books actually that were turned into movies where it's built on the premise that there is a society that has factions that are all separated by aptitude. So, aptitude and traits. So, people who are truthful, people who are the warriors and the police people, the people who are kind, the people who are smart and rule society. So, everyone is separated into these factions. And each faction has their own dress code and their communities, and like everything looks very specific to their faction. Everything is based on the faction. They actually have a saying that says faction before blood. And there comes a time when an individual becomes of age and they get to choose a faction. So there's a ceremony where you choose your faction. So it's kind of like when you're like a teenager. You choose your faction, and it can be the same one that you were born into, or it could be one that you desire to be in. So it's all about the factions, all about the system, all about everyone maintaining their place and maintaining order in society because of the places and the rules that have been created. So where does the word divergent come in? Well, there are some people who are anomalies, let's say, where they don't have just one faction in their system. So they don't identify with just the people who help or the smart people who are supposed to be in charge. They have characteristics of all of the factions. And these are the people who are labeled divergent. These are the people who are labeled a threat to society because they don't have just one, they have all. They think differently, they move differently, they act differently, they question the way things are. They don't do things in the same way, which jeopardizes peace. So I'm watching this movie series, and the main character is Divergent. So it's about her story of understanding what this means and how she navigates this through 3 movies after she discovers this, how she maintains her basically life. Because she's labeled a threat to society because she's different. So I'm watching these movies and I'm thinking about the healing process. I'm thinking about how many of us have this process where we grow up, we have certain beliefs, we're taught certain things by our communities, by our families, by our school, by whatever. And there comes a time where we start to think a little bit differently. We start to think a little different than what our church might say, or our community leader might say, or our family might say. Like, it's a little bit different from what we've been taught or programmed to think or do or act like. And this makes us different. This makes us a little bit of a threat because we're challenging the status quo. We're asking questions because things might not make sense anymore. And how we go about that process of reconciling certain things making sense versus not, certain things feeling comfortable, and then the next day or month, they are no longer comfortable. People might seem comfortable and relationships might flow, and then all of a sudden, things don't feel compatible anymore. this discovering of truth, our own individual, our personal truth, is what I was thinking of as I'm watching these movies. And how in this journey of life, in this healing journey, because for me it's been healing and energy healing, in this questioning certain things, certain beliefs and ways of being, the more you feel divergent, the more you feel different, the more you actually feel as an outsider, but also are labeled as a threat. Now, we have the term neurodivergent, which is similar to the concept of the movie Divergent. It's still many different things all at once, but it's more thinking different things, acting, in multiple different ways simultaneously sometimes, maybe making you feel a little crazy at times, but still a little bit of a threat because you're not functioning from a place of the status quo of what's comfortable, what fits inside a nice box. So the idea of divergent and it being a threat seems like, and this could be a stretch, is our becoming more divergent, our unveiling of our divergency. I don't think that's a word, but I like it. Our uncovering of these characteristics of ourselves. We see that we are not really what we thought we were underneath all of these layers, underneath these programs, underneath these beliefs. And the way that this character navigates this and struggles throughout most of the movies to reconcile herself with society, with what she grew up with the threat that people are saying that she is, but what she feels inside is completely different. I just related to that in this journey. And I know many of us do as well, where we're uncovering information, we're learning things about ourselves, the way society works, the way certain things work. And we're trying to make sense of what's true, what's not, what feels good, what's not, what feels safe, who feels safe, what doesn't. So I just found it interesting thinking about all of these things while watching these movies. And it's just a reminder of this becoming that we're all going through. We're all in different stages of this becoming process. It's the unlearning, but the relearning. It's the shedding and the uncovering, the discovery of what is underneath the layers after we shed. It's the becoming process of who we are as we navigate this new information and this truth that we are finding for ourselves. It is the desire to compare, but realize there is no comparison. It's the maybe desire to invalidate certain things, but really seeing that it's all relevant. It's just maybe not viewed in the perspective that we thought it was in the first place. So this is a space that I've been in since watching these movies, just reflecting and thinking about this journey and the uncovering and how all the things just kind of unfold and how we navigate all of this. How some people completely fall out of our lives and then others pop up and it seems like they're a godsend. And the lessons that we learn and the growth that we have, and how can you tell if you're growing? All of these things, all of these questions are what I've been pondering, and extending gratitude for the entire process, because I think it's all something that we are going through collectively now. This What am I doing? Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I here now? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be doing something? Am I doing it? How am I doing it? Like all of these questions. Do I fit in? Why don't I fit in? If I don't, how can I? All of these questions that can be asked, are being asked, questions that we haven't thought of yet. And we're all shedding, we're all learning and unlearning and becoming, not operating from the old. We're discovering what new is, we're discovering how new feels. And it can be scary, it can be exciting, it can be invigorating, it can be confusing, it can be so many things all at once. And we're all doing it. We're all doing it. We're all in it together. And we're all going to get to the answers that we're seeking eventually. I do believe that. I do believe that the change we seek is happening. We just can't see it yet. And we're all going to achieve what we are meant to achieve. The process may not be what we want it to be. It might not be as easy as we like, or look the way we like, or occur where we would like. But I do believe it is happening, and we will do and be and have and get to whatever we're aiming to get to. Not a destination, though, more of a state of being. So if you haven't watched the movies, Divergent, excellent series. I know I need to read the books, but I always just watch the movies. Very thought-provoking. Very thought-provoking and very relevant, I think, for right now. So this is a little bit of a ramble, but very relevant in the questions that I'm asking. I know a lot of people are asking the same questions. We're all changing and shifting in our own individual ways, on our own respective journeys, seeking truth, and hoping to live our most fulfilled, loving, expansive, aligned, happy, joyful, peaceful lives. So I see you if that's what you're doing, and you're not alone.